It's your girl Tiffany, Madam Luscious Black Beauty, your poetic psychic Pisces, High Priestess, aka the light that shines like a diamond. I am here tonight for another one of my Arkansas Missing Mysteries. The man that I'm going to speak of tonight, Mr. Andy Ponders, he went missing on Christmas Eve, and he has not been seen or heard from since. I do thank everyone for listening and watching. If you would be so kind to, please like, share, and subscribe. That would be greatly, greatly appreciated. So without any further ado, we are going to get right into tonight's Missing Mysteries / breaking news.
A family with Little Rock ties celebrated the holidays in Florida without one of their own, their father. But what they didn't know at the time was that their father had literally disappeared without a trace just days before the new year. Our Katrin Asaf talked with his daughter who lives in Florida and has more on what you can do to help.
He is super down to earth. He's just a good person and a great dad.
Sydney Rose speaks with her dad every day, checking in on Andy Ponders through Facebook or cell phone. It wasn't out of the ordinary when Rose called him to say Merry Christmas. But what was?
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
His phone was going straight to voicemail.
No answer. And no reply to her social media page either. The silence led Rose to worry. Stays away in Florida while her husband serves in the Air Force. But she decided to wait.
I'll try to get a hold of him tomorrow, I guess.
3 days later, Ponders was still unaccounted for and soon declared missing.
It's like he drove off and that was it.
Ponders was last seen here, running errands in Little Rock. That was Christmas Eve, and in nearly 2 weeks, there have been no leads and no answers.
We're stumped.
Now, Rose is hoping someone can spot Ponders or his 2004 gold Camry so that he can return home safe and meet his newest grandchild, whose announcement he missed.
We would love to just know answers and would love to have him back safe.
Okay, guys. How's everybody doing today? I hope well. We're going to get into tonight's story, honey. I hope you all are nice and comfy and cozy. It's been bad weather here in Arkansas, like all day. It's actually snowing and raining at the same time, which is totally, I feel like, geoengineered. Like, this has been 2 years in a row, okay? Arkansas don't even get weather like this, okay? It's crazy. Snow 2 years back to back, that like almost never has happened in Arkansas. Usually when we get snow, it's not even enough to stick on the ground, but yeah. So we're going through our winter weather phase right now. But anyway, guys, I think some other states are probably getting bad weather as well. But we are going to get into the story. Like I said, this is going to be it's a missing mystery / breaking news. I showed you the news segment on the situation here. It's really kind of crazy because I actually seen this story a while ago because this man went missing on Christmas Eve. Okay. And if I understand correctly, he was supposed to be meeting with his family, like in Florida or something like that, when he went missing or something. And yeah, that didn't happen. He just like totally vanished. He disappeared, okay? And I've been saying, I'm like, okay, I'm going to work on this. I'm going to, do this because when I first seen this, I'm like, it's Christmas Eve. I was like, he's a full grown man. So I'm like, but he doesn't seem old enough to have just waken up one day and all of a sudden had Alzheimer's or dementia and completely lost his mind and just got lost somewhere. And then, but it was around the holidays, okay? So I know a lot of people were last minute shopping on that day. And I'm like, the first thing I thought, I'm like, this poor guy went out shopping and some little young dudes, probably seen him by himself, probably seen him purchasing something, thought he had money, some little young dudes probably thought he was an easy target and robbed him and probably killed him, okay? And he hasn't been found or seen since, because I'm like, usually it's something else when you're dealing with older people that come up missing. When it's younger people, it's a little bit different. It could be a multitude of different things that's happening and going on and things like that or whatever. But that was my first initial thought, okay? I was actually working on the day I first heard the story when it came to, through the news thing on my phone or whatever. So I'm like, I'm going to get to it. But there was something that was like steady pushing this back. Every time I would be like, okay, I'm going to work on this, it would be something else to come up, I was being forced to do other work or do other things and not get to this. So I felt like, okay, there's some force, something is trying to prevent me from looking into this. It's the same feeling that I had about the story that I did last night about the girl from, that popped up dead in Duval County and Jacksonville or whatever. That was something that was trying to block me from getting the information about, that or whatever. So I felt the same way about this. And I'm like, something is going on, it's some major connections with some major people, okay, or something for me to feel like I'm being prevented from looking into this or working on this type of thing, okay? So I'm like, okay, forget it, I'm gonna do it. And I did another story last night pertaining to a lady who recently went missing here in Arkansas, okay? So I said, you know what, since I did hers, I'm going to do this man's. He's been missing since Christmas Eve. Something obviously has happened. So I'm going to work on this no matter what. So I've literally been doing so like all day, okay? So, and it's a lot to take in, okay? There's just a lot of goings on with this situation. Okay, guys, so I'm just trying to cleanse the energy, okay? We're going to block, bind, and rebuke any evil, demonic, negative energy, entities, deities, people, places, or things that may be trying to block these messages. Okay, we're going to cleanse and clear all energy for this reading. Most High, please give me clear and accurate messages to relate to the collective pertaining to this case, to all situations, all persons, connected or linked to this situation as well. I reverse any evil curse, any evil spell that has been placed upon me, that has been placed upon my channel, in an effort to try to block me, stop me, or alter this reading, okay? I send any evil spirits, any evil or demonic or wicked entities, deities, any witchcraft, sorcery, black magic, voodoo, hoodoo, hexes, curses back to its senders 100-fold. So let it be. Okay, let's get started. Okay, guys, there's a lot, okay? Again, it was so much and it was so deep that I literally had to do, I have multiple spreads of information plus extra information on top of extra information, okay? So we're going to get it, okay? Because somebody didn't want, somebody didn't want this information out, okay? So, first of all, I have like literally 2 different decks from the tarot. 2 different decks of readings from the tarot, okay? Then I have a whole nother of reading that comes from the Kipper stack of as well of information, guys. Okay. I also have my own messages and things that I have pulled as well from 1, 2, 3 different decks, okay? As well as I have Zodiac energy here, okay? So we know exactly whom we're dealing with, what we're dealing with, okay? So let me get into this, guys. First of all, I think, not to mention, I did a spirit reading too that is very lengthy, okay? So there was a lot to go with this, okay? There's a lot going on, okay? So let me just get into this, okay? First of all, I have the 3 of Wands here, okay? I have the Moon here. I have fire sign energy here, Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo persons. Okay. We also have, these cards are so great. We have the Devil here, as well as the Hermit, the 4 of Wands, the 9 of Wands, Judgment, the Chariot, and 5 of Cups. For some reason, when I first started looking into this, because I pulled the tarot first before I did anything else, okay? For some reason, I kept feeling, I have a photographic memory, guys, okay? So the first spread I laid, okay? I literally got, it was the, I had the Chariot, and I had the 8 of Swords, okay? And so I stopped there. Okay, and then I had a face card of a person, which it was his energy that came up. So when seeing that, okay, if you have the Chariot that's coupled with the 8 of Swords, you automatically would assume, any reader would be like, okay, this person has been arrested. This person has been arrested. The police is involved, is what I overwhelmingly felt when I started this. So I'm like, okay, no, something is wrong, because if he got arrested here in Arkansas, okay, he wouldn't have been reported as missing. Or when he was reported as missing, and you know, they started to investigate and look into things, they would have been able to see in the database, okay, that he was in jail, he had been arrested or something like that, okay? So I put the cards back in the deck, I shuffled really good again, and I was literally getting the same exact messages, okay? So I know that we're dealing with involvement of authority figures here, okay? And I gotta really be careful with this, okay? So I'm gonna give you all as much information, but I live in this state, guys, okay? So and I'm already a target, so. But at the same time, I don't sugarcoat shit. I don't beat around the bush, okay? And I don't bite my tongue for nobody. So I'm going to give you what you need, okay? It's going to be what you need to know, okay? So with the 3 of Wands here, okay? I know that there was some type of movement forward, okay? The 3 of Wands talks about motivation and determination to move forward towards a situation, towards something, or towards a situation, okay? One having the motivation to move forward, okay? However, this movement forward in this situation with the Moon here, there is something that is hidden, something that was being done in secret. You understand? But this Moon has illuminated what is going on, what is happening here, okay? So there was this movement forward towards, and I feel like this fire sign individual, whether he is a fire sign or not, Mr. Andy Ponders, he's coming up as a fire sign in the reading. Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo individual. If he is not a fire sign, he definitely has fire in his birth chart, okay? This motivation, this movement forward on this man, or this movement forward, there's several movement here, okay? He was moving forward in a situation, but individuals was moving towards him as well. And it has to do with the things that were hidden. Something that he was a part of, that he was doing, was being kept secret, was being done in secret, okay? Mr. Ponders with the devil here, and he's facing this devil, okay? This often talks about one being chained or tied to the devil. It also speaks to a person having addictive patterns of behavior or having certain types of addictions, okay? My spirit guides let me know that Mr. Ponders, he has a history of cheating, as well as he has a sex addiction, okay? And I feel like this is what has been, this was what was being hidden. This is what was secret, okay? Mr. Andy Ponders was involved in an affair, okay? But the person that Mr. Ponders himself with the Hermit card here, he's a loner, okay? So he's he's an older gentleman, okay? So he's an empty nester. However, he do have, sexual urges, okay? And he acts upon these sexual urges, okay? Even though he is a loner, when he's by himself, he's to himself, he lives his life, he does his thing, okay? But he does have a history of cheating. He's probably cheated on exes in the past and things like that as well, okay? But I do know that he is a loner, okay? But Mr. Andy Ponders, like I said, he's tied to this devil here, okay? Because he was partaking in something very sneaky, very manipulative, very unorthodox, okay? And we're talking about adultery here. Now, the reason that it is an adultery is because the person that he was having an affair with is married. That is the reason why the moon is here. That is what is being kept secret, okay? So on the day that Mr. Ponders went missing, okay, there were several things that took place. Mr. Ponders had been having an affair with a woman who is married, okay? With the Four of Wands here, there's an aspect to family, okay? There is individuals connected to this situation that is family to him, or whom he has a family with, okay? A strong emphasis on his ex, okay? Now, this could be his ex-girlfriend, his ex-wife. I definitely believe, whether he was married with this person or not, this is his baby's, this is the mother of his children, in which I'm talking about, okay? That has strong ties to everything else that was going on, okay? Now, the messages that I have on the bottom row clarifies the messages that I have on the top row here, okay? So the reason, the motive with the Three of Wands, okay, this motivation and determination to move forward towards something, this movement, because he was in active movement with the person that he was in an affair with, okay, that was being kept secret, okay? But he had no idea that there was this forward movement also towards him pertaining to this situation, okay? And that he has family or connections, individuals that he would consider as family, that is tied into this movement forward on him, okay? because the Four of Wands often talks about a coming together, family, gatherings, things of that nature. Like I said, it was Christmas Eve, and I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, he was supposed to have been meeting with family. Okay, specifically, I believe his children. Okay, so I believe he was going to take a trip to see his family for the holidays. Okay, when this situation arose and came up. Okay, because he didn't make that trip, and I believe before he made this trip, he was going to be meeting with his girlfriend, which is another reason why there's several different kinds of movement here. Okay, now to clarify the moon here, we have the Nine of Wands here. Now the Nine of Wands often talks about one being defensive, him being defensive, individuals. I more so feel like individuals being defensive towards him. Okay, because of this situation that was hidden. Okay, so even though this was a secret love affair, there were people that knew. Okay, with this Nine of Wands here, this talks about defensiveness, challenging situations, burdensome problems. Okay, one coming to the conclusion that a sacrifice needed to be made. Okay, because of what was hidden here with the moon. Okay, so with the Judgment card clarifying Mr. Ponders here, Mr. Andy Ponders, someone made a judgment, a decision to move forward towards him because of the fact that he was having an affair, and that was what was hidden, that was what was secret. But he didn't know that other people knew. He didn't know that other people was involved in setting him up, and knew about this affair, found out about this affair, and was setting him up. Okay, not only were individuals whom were close to him knew about this, but individuals connected to the person that he was having an affair with, and a judgment was made on Mr. Andy Ponders. Okay, now the judgment that was made, okay, with the Chariot here clarifying the Devil, the person that Andy Ponders was having an affair with, because let me just say this, because like I said, the Three of Wands talks about it's basically movement. It's the having the motivation and the determination to move forward in some type of a situation here. Okay, now the Chariot also speaks to moving, leaving, traveling, going on a trip, going on a journey. It talks about transportation. It talks about various different things. Okay, but the Chariot can also speak to police, authority. Okay, and the Chariot sits right next to Judgment. Okay, the person that Andy Ponders was having an affair with is married. This person is married to a police officer. Okay, whom, when he found out about this affair, linked up with other people to make this judgment upon Mr. Ponders here. Okay, ultimately deciding that he was going to be basically blood sacrificed. Okay, now the interesting thing about this is this person, there's other people who is connected to Mr. Andy Ponders that is close to him that knew about this, that was in on this setup. Okay, pertaining to what happened to him, or what was to happen to him. Okay, and to clarify, the Hermit, which is Andy Ponders. Okay, because he's the Hermit. Okay, it's clarified by the Five of Cups. Now the Five of Cups talks about sadness, loss, misery. There was something that happened that caused Andy grief, sadness. Okay, something in which changed everything here. Okay? So I pulled another spread, okay? And I want to show you the card that's at the bottom of this deck here, okay? We have, let me just show you this before I go into the next reading. The card that, remember I told you some of the same messages was coming up after I reshuffled? The card that was at the bottom of this deck is the Nine of Swords. Okay? The Nine of Swords talks about being stuck, being restricted, okay? If you look at this person, let me turn up this light for you all. This person looked like they're handcuffs. Their hands are tied, and there's this blindfold around their eyes, okay? Andy Ponders was blindsided by what happened to him on the day that he went missing. Andy Ponders was attacked. He was taken. He was restricted, bound. He was bound and restricted. This happened to Andy because of the Seven of Swords. Lying, cheating, sneaking, creeping, trying to get away with something, okay? And this, because of this, we have the World here. Completions, ending. There was an ending of a cycle. What was done to Andy Ponders put an end to the affair that he was having with his lover that he was seeing, okay? Oh, I meant to show you all too. From the Kipper, guys. I pulled one card to give me an overall energy of what was going on with Andy, and I got main female. This was before I pulled any reading. So I knew that this had to do with somebody that he was seeing, that he was lovers with, that he was in a relationship with, okay? And the card that is at the, I'm going to get into the Kipper in a minute after I do the other spread, but the card that was at the bottom of the deck is Lovers. This main female that he was in relation with was his lover. Okay? This is the person that he was cheating with, who was married. Now, the thing about this is Andy knew that this woman was married because they were sneaking and creeping around. What Andy did not know is who this woman was married to. Okay? This woman is married to a police officer. Okay? So you got to understand, there's a lot of hostility within this situation and why things went down the way it did, okay? So I pulled from another deck, okay? To clarify the main reading that I just told you all, I pulled messages from another deck here, which is Nostradamus, okay? So to clarify, guys, the Three of Wands with the Four of Wands here, I have the Chariot again. This man was traveling to see someone on the day that he went missing, okay? But there's two messages to this Chariot. Remember, the Chariot showed up in the first spread, okay? There is also the police officer who is involved, whom his lover, Andy Ponders' lover, was married to, okay? To clarify the moon with the Nine of Wands here, okay? This secret, you know, this sneaking and creeping around, this secret that was kept hidden, this affair, because that's what was hidden, okay? The reason that it was decided to take out Andy Ponders, the person who decided to sacrifice this individual, to take out this individual, guys, okay, is this King of Swords. Aquarius, Libra, Gemini energy, okay? Now, this person sits right next to the Chariot. That's why I told you there is more than one message that is coming through with the Chariot. He was in active movement on the day that he went missing. However, we have a police officer who is the husband of Andy Ponder's lover. That's the reason why this King of Swords sits right next to the Chariot, because he is an officer of the law. He is the one who decided that Andy Ponders had to go when he found out his wife was cheating. To clarify, the King of Wands here, which I feel like is the energy that came through with Andy, with the Judgment card here, we have the Eight of Swords. The judgment that was made against him was to restrict him, confine him, basically to abduct him. This man was caught off guard. He was lured to a specific place where he thought he was going to be meeting up with his lover. And he was ambushed. He was attacked. He was ambushed at a specific place, which I know where it was, and I will tell you about that in the spirit reading. They abducted this man. They restricted him. They took him to a specific area. They tortured him. And his life was taken. Okay? Now, you got to understand what I'm looking at right now. We have the Chariot with the King of Swords and the Eight of the Eight of Swords. Okay, any reader looking at this will tell you that this is a police officer who arrested somebody. This is what you would think first looking at this. Okay, if this was like, say, you know, something that happened and it was a legit arrest, but this man was taken. This man was ambushed. He was taken. He was abducted. Okay, and that's the reason why the Eight of Swords is coming up. He wasn't legitimately arrested. That's the reason why that energy was coming through so strongly when I started this reading, because I told you the first cards that I seen when I first was starting the reading was the Chariot and the Eight of Swords. I said, oh my God, he got arrested. I said, maybe he was traveling on his way to see his family or something, driving, something happened and he got arrested somewhere. But maybe it wasn't in Arkansas. So I reshuffled the thing and the same messages started coming out. Okay, guys? So we have the Chariot, the King of Swords. Okay? This is a police officer who is a King of Swords who decided to set Andy up in this way. To abduct him, to restrict him, to confine him. Okay? To punish him for having an affair with his wife. To clarify the devil with the Chariot here, we have the Three of Swords. Because of this, it brought about heartache, pain, sorrow, misery, sadness. Okay? To clarify the Hermit here, we have the Fool. I told you, Andy was the fool that day. Okay? Remember, in this column, we had the Hermit with the Five of Cups, okay? By this point, a heartbreaking situation had occurred, but Andy was the fool that day. You see, Andy Ponders received a message from whom he thought was his lover to meet at Red Lobster. So off he went to see his married lover. He was the fool that day. He took that leap of faith to go and see his lover as he had done so many times before. But he was catfished. That message was not in fact from his lover. This is the reason why when he got to the restaurant, he was attacked. He was ambushed. He was restricted, thrown back in his car, and driven from that Red Lobster and taken elsewhere. And all other kind of things was done to him. Okay? So let's clarify the chariot here. We have the burning tower. This utter destruction, the collapse of this tower, which was the abduction, the torture, and the murder of Andy Ponders, was because of this officer husband who was furious that his wife was having an affair with Mr. Ponders. Okay? So let's clarify the next message we have here under the King of Swords here. We have the 10 of Cups. This lets me know that there is people that is connected to Andy, that is family of some sort. Now, I specifically know his ex, okay? But there's others who was aware of the setup, of what was going to go down. Now, tens, first of all, cups is a lot of feelings, a lot of emotions. Okay, it's cups. It's emotions, emotional type of energy. But it's a 10. So this talks about endings, completions, okay? That sits right next to the tower. This man's life was ended on that day. That tower collapsing and Andy Ponders' life is what caused this ending to occur in this family. Okay? Now, I'm not going to necessarily say that his entire family is in on this entire setup. I'm not going to say that. I mean, people have a lot of individuals in his family. But when I pulled other messages, especially from my deck, I am specifically seeing things about an ex of his. And I asked about it in the spirit reading, and spirit related to me like this was somebody that is like family, because this person is I believe, either his ex-wife or ex-girlfriend. If they were never married, this person is the mother of his children. And this person, spirit tells me, still lives in Arkansas. And this person is fully aware, like had some type of revenge, wanted some type of revenge. Okay? Maybe Andy cheated on her when they were together. Okay? But there's other people close to Andy who's in on this setup. Maybe even siblings of his, okay? Because I did see something about a brother and things as well. But we'll get into that in a minute, okay? So, coupled with the 8 of Swords here, okay? We have death. I told you. They ambushed this man. They lured him to the Red Lobster, where he thought he was meeting his girlfriend. But he was catfished by individuals that knew of the affair. It was set up. When he got there, he was attacked. He was ambushed. He was restricted, confined, thrown in his car, taken to a remote location, tortured, and put to death. Okay? To clarify this 3 of Swords, how do we know that this happened, Tiffany? How do you know this happened like that? I'm looking right at it. Okay? But you want further clarification. Let's clarify this 3 of Swords here. What brought about this heartache, this pain, this judgment? The judgment that was called upon him. The judgment that was called upon his life. That's what brought him heartache and pain. You see, this man had been lied to. He knew that the woman that he was involved with was married. So one can say, oh, he was wrong for that. But the woman that he was involved with did not tell him the entire truth, because Andy Ponders had no idea that the woman that he was in an affair with was married to a police officer who made the judgment, the ultimate judgment and the decision on his life, to take his life for sleeping with his wife. This judgment sits right next to death. This man was put to death. His life was taken abruptly. Okay? Let's clarify the Fool here. Well, what do you know? We got the Nine of Swords again. We now have the Nine of Swords, okay? Now, the Nine of Swords talks about anxiety, stress, being haunted, being taunted. He was being haunted and taunted on that day, okay? You see, there were several messages that came to Andy on the day that he went missing. He received multiple messages, okay? This had him stressed out. He actually received messages from the officer, from his girlfriend. He finally found out the truth, that this woman he had been having an affair with was married to a cop. This cop has now found out about the affair, is threatening him, trying to intimidate him. Okay? Now this went on before the day that he went missing, okay? But on the day that he was already in high anxiety about this. On the day that he went missing, he thought he received a message, another message from his lover. Hey, let's sneak and meet up. I want to talk to you about this. I apologize. I'm sorry. Let's meet up. Let's have lunch. He went. That's why that's why the Fool is here. But he was being catfished. Those messages was not coming from his lover. It was coming from somebody else who took possession of, had access to her phone. Okay? So at this point, this man is being haunted and taunted. He's been harassed by the people that ultimately made the judgment to take his life. Spirit said, this is truth. This is clarity that I'm giving to you, okay? So I have more messages here to clarify for you, okay? So let's go through this reading here. We're now going to clarify the Chariot with the Tower. Spirit is telling you this is truth. This is clarity. This is the truth of a matter of what happened in this situation. Okay? Let's clarify the King of Swords with the Ten of Cups here. Didn't I tell you that this man had received messages? He received some swift, fast communication that came into him. This is when he had found out from this cop, the husband of his lover, that he knew of the affair. Threatened him. Okay? So let's clarify the Eight of Swords with the Death card. What do you think that's there? Told you he was murdered. We have the Ten of Swords. This is ultimate betrayal. Ten of Swords and Justice came out. One thought this was justice, that this man deserved to take his life for having an affair with a cop's wife. One thought that the justice for him was to kill him. That's the reason why. This man was ambushed. He was restricted. He was confined. Thrown in his vehicle. Taken to a remote location. Tortured and murdered. Ten of Swords talks about ultimate betrayal. Justice talks about a final decision that has been made on this. Somebody thought it was justice to take this man's life for having an affair. Okay? So let's clarify the Three of Swords with Judgment here. This heartache, this heartbreak, this pain, and the judgment that was made, the decision that was made. Why was this heartache and heartbreak here? Why? We got the Seven of Wands again. Lying, cheating, sneaking and creeping around, trying to get away with something. That's why this judgment was made on this man's life. Because he was cheating with a cop's wife. We also have Fortitude here, which is the strength, like the strength card in the traditional tarot deck, okay? He was trying to be strong in this situation here. Because of all the lies and the deceptions, okay? Now, he was having an affair with a married woman. But there was things that was hidden even from him that he did not know, that he was not aware of. Pertaining to that situation, guys. And he was caught off guard. He was caught off guard. So why is the Fool here? With the Nine of Swords. Huh? Didn't I tell you he came through as the Fool? Because he took the bait and was going to meet with his lover again even after he found out of whom she was really married to. They catfished him. They baited him. This cop took his wife's phone, messaged this man, or either some spyware, something was used to send a message to him to make it look like it came from his lover's phone. Hey, baby, meet with me. I'm really sorry about this. Him messaging you and threatening you. Let's sneak and meet for lunch. We're going to talk about this. This man was obviously smitten with this person because he was a fool. He took the bait. He decided to take that leap of faith and go see his lover, if only one last time. Guess what clarifies the Fool with the Nine of Swords? We have none other here than the Lovers, coupled with the Five of Cups. Lovers talks about needing to make a decision within a relationship, a partnership that has to do with love. He was having a relationship with a married woman who just so happened to be married to a cop, which he did not know. This brought about sadness to him. He really was in love with this woman. Okay? This person, this woman, was a twin flame for him. So there was like this dynamic to their relationship. Like, he couldn't stay away from this woman. Maybe neither she could stay away from him. Okay? That's the reason why this affair went on and continued, even though she was stuck in this relationship. But she didn't tell him. He knew that she was married. One could judge him for saying, oh, well, he shouldn't have been married, messing with a married woman. Okay? But there were other things that was hidden from him. He had no idea that the woman was married to a cop. Okay? And it takes two to tango. Okay? And I'm sorry, but you don't have the right to murder somebody because you don't like the fact that they've had an affair. Okay? If this officer had killed his wife instead of killing this man, this situation would be looked at totally different. Yet this man is dead, but his wife is still alive, because that would have linked directly to him. Okay? So the card we have at the bottom of the deck here, we have the Eight of Cups, which talks about change. This major shift, this major change that happened in the life of whom? Mr. Andy Ponders, the hermit, the loner. This man was really a loner. He lived his life, he did his thing. He really didn't really bother anybody. It's not like he went around just really like doing things wrong, like that or whatever, like some career criminal or something like that or whatever. The man fell in love with a married woman and had an affair, and his life was taken because of it. Okay? So that's what so we have here. If we look at all of the cards at the bottom of the deck, okay? I told you the main female. This is the woman that he was having the affair with, okay? We look at the bottom card here, the Eight of Cups, which talks about change. We look at the bottom card of this deck, which is the Nine of Swords, which talks about restriction, being confined, being restricted. Okay? And we look at the bottom card here, Lovers. I just told you what happened. I need you all to understand that these readings are not, and then check this out. Okay? And you see, I showed you the Seven of Swords, so we know that this was a situation where lying and cheating and sneaking and creeping around was going on. But let me even make it more clear for y'all, because every once in a while, y'all know I'm a target, okay? So these people stay watching me, okay? Every once in a while, I always know when they send these trolls and these ops to my channel to try to leave some, ridiculous message. Oh, you need to take this video down. You don't know what you're talking about. Look, let me tell you something, honey. The messages that I give, these are not based on my own opinions, okay? This is not based on what I want it to be. Something I just, magically came up with in my mind. Because some of these things are so evil and so heinous, one wouldn't even want to believe that it is true. Okay, baby? But I'm not going to argue with you, honey. You will smooth be blocked and deleted. Okay? And I don't even waste my time or my energy even replying to you. But see, these people are ops, okay? They're trolls. And they're triggered by the powers that be and these witches and other readers and things that they have these people. Every once in a while, it doesn't happen all the time, but every once in a while to come to the comments of your videos and say something ridiculous and off the wall to you that absolutely makes no sense at all. And most of the time it has nothing to do with actually the reading that you did. It's just like random people deciding to attack you. Okay? Honey, you will be blocked. Because my messages come from a higher power, comes from the Most High. Okay? I am led by spirit. The messages that I put out, I tell you what I see. I tell you the messages I get. I don't sugarcoat shit. I don't beat around the bush. I don't hide anything from you. It's just matter of fact, plain and simple, clear. Okay? So this is not about being against certain persons or this or that or the other. Because when I first seen this, and just to give you an example, a lot of times when I first hear about something or see something, my intuition kicks in automatically. Okay? So, and before I work on something, I'm going back and forth between how I feel and my intuition. But that's before I'm working. You understand? So I'm saying, oh, man, it seemed like this probably could happen or whatever. And then my intuition may say something, may agree or either say something else. And then it moves me in a certain way. And if I'm led by spirit to say, you know what, I'm going to work on this. Okay. And then I work on it, and it may be something totally different. And I'm going to give you an example. When I first seen this case and I knew that the man went missing on Christmas Eve, I automatically thought, I said, oh my gosh, how awful is this? This is an older man. You know, I doubt very seriously he woke up that day and lost his mind. You know, I wasn't thinking anything about an affair or anything like that. This is an older gentleman. You understand? I literally, I said, I guarantee you this man went out doing some last minute shopping, and somebody seen him alone, seen him with some money, thought he was an easy target, and he got robbed and they killed him. That was my personal feelings, my initial thought. And then my intuition kicked in and started telling me, no, there's something else, you know, you might want to look at this or whatever. So then when I am led to work, what comes out here has nothing to do with how I feel. Has nothing to do with what I think. Has nothing to do with anybody's race, religion, background, upbringing. I tell you all the time, honey, most of you are full grown. I am nobody to tell you how to live your life in any type of way. That's not what my channel is for. Now, I tell you the truth about situations. But at the end of the day, you're your own person. You can live your life the way you want to. Okay? So if I pull up something in a reading and I see, they say, I see a dangerous situation. You're going through this. You're dealing with this person, and this person is no good in a dangerous situation. I'm going to tell you truthfully that. But to tell you what you should and shouldn't be doing and can and can't be doing, that's not my price, honey. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I just tell you the truth of what I see, and the messages are coming out because I'm led by spirit. Now let me show you this. Now at the bottom of the kipper, you have the Lovers. Okay? You have the mature man. This mature man is Andy Ponders, who was in a situation, in a lover situation, with somebody, having an affair with somebody who was married. Okay? Guess what's behind that? Family room. There were people. This woman's family, which was her husband, found out that this was going on. Okay? As well as this man's family. People in his family knew that this was going on and went along with the setup. Okay? I'm telling you. I only can tell you or show you the messages that come across, guys, okay? So let me show you this. You don't believe me. How do you know, Tiffany? This man, Andy Ponders, he was in major concern about this affair that he was having. This man was very concerned. Okay? How do you know that it was about the affair that he was having? Tiffany, we have courtship here. The man was concerned about a lover's relationship, a woman that he was courting who is married. Okay? Now, I told you he knew this. He knew that this woman that he was courting was married. But he got a message of concern. This message of concern that came into him from his lover's husband. And that's who he found out who he was married to, or who his lover was married to. The message of concern was about the fact that this woman was married. Okay? Again, message. Who did this message come from? I told you. The cop. Official person. I can't make it up. It's right here in your face. Okay. You want to know more? Okay. I got you. Let me show you this. Okay, since y'all think it's a game, y'all think this is for play, let me show you this. Okay? Hold on. We need more clarification, Tiffany. Okay, I got you. I got you. So, let me show you something. The main female that he was having the affair with, spirits say that she's a water sign. His lover is a Pisces. The cop that this woman is married to, is a Libra. I told you. He is this air sign here. Remember I told you the King of Swords came out? The Aquarius, Libra, Gemini? He's a Libra. Okay? The hitman, okay? Because I'm going to get into this in a minute. Because I didn't tell you about the hitman in the spread. But I kind of did. I told you that he was ambushed, okay? He was attacked, okay? But you got to be a fool to think that the cop ran up and attacked this man in broad daylight. No. Hitman was recruited to help him lure Andy Ponders away. The hitman is an Aquarius. But there were several, this is the main hitman. But he elicited some help, I believe, from other individuals, okay? Either he elicited some help from other people, or there's at least 2 other people. These could be the 2 other people whom Andy Ponders knew who about this setup, and that this was going to go down. One of those persons is a Scorpio. And one of those persons is an Aries. Okay? So we have at least 5 people here who is involved in this setup against Andy Ponders. First message I got is, she is lying to you. Okay? So I'm gonna tell you how this went down, because I know a lot of you are probably thinking this man was having an affair with a married woman, and you heard me say that he didn't know that she was married to a cop, but that wasn't it. This woman was married, but this woman, I believe, had told Andy that yes, she was still married, but she was separated. Okay? Spirit says she's lying to you. Okay? The next message I got, she is cheating on you. Serial cheater. Okay? This person was a serial cheater. Okay? I do also believe because of Andy's, addictive patterns of behavior, he had a history of cheating as well. Okay? When things popped off and went on, and Andy started finding out different things, not only was this woman married, but she was actually still, like, they were, like, her and her husband still lived together. That of which I think Andy did not know. Okay? Not only did he not know that, but he did not know that the woman was married to a cop. You see what I'm saying, guys? So he knew that she was married still. Okay? But he assumed that this woman was separated, yet still married. You understand what I'm saying? So games start being played. After this was found out by his mistress' husband, she began to tell him to leave her alone. We have leave me alone here, okay? Or Andy could be saying this to people that he was being harassed about this affair, okay? This is a narcissistic relationship, okay? I feel like the woman that he was having an affair with is in a narcissistic relationship with this police officer, which is what draws her to, kind of, pushed her away into the arms of somebody else in the first place, okay? But Spirit is saying that Andy could not trust this person, okay? Why? Cheaters, okay? We have a side piece here. Okay? We have baby mamas, baby daddies, hoes, players, pimps. Okay? We have cheaters in the middle here. It says, I think you need to let it go. See, because I don't believe Andy was dealing with anybody else in his life. This man was a loner. But the person that he was dealing with was the one who was cheating on her husband. Although Andy was involved with a woman, having an affair with a woman who was married. But I believe this woman had told him that she was like separated or something like that. But he definitely did not know that she was married to a police officer. Okay? So the next message we have here is fake friends are working against you. Says no friend of mine. So he definitely has some fake, phony, fraudulent people around him. Okay? Spirit is saying that these individuals are nothing more than puppets on a string. Okay? Spirit is also saying that something just ain't right. That Andy needed to reevaluate the situation that he was dealing with the open mind. Why? Because there was danger ahead that he did not know. He needed to proceed with caution because the goblins were watching. And this is the reason why he ended up being the fool. Even after all this other stuff going on and he finally finding out she is in fact still married and living with her husband and her husband is a cop and all of this, he received that message and took the bait, got catfished and was going to meet up with his lover one last time. Had no idea. Walked head first into danger. Spirit was trying to warn him to watch his surroundings at all time because evil lives. Evil was all around him. That man had started being stalked, watched, harassed after this officer found out that his wife was cheating with him, okay? Spirit was trying to tell him no new friends. Too many fake, phony, and fraudulent. They're liable to be up to something. And indeed they were. Okay? I told you this man ended up becoming a target. Because the woman that he was cheating with, her husband was an officer, he had access to tracking systems, technology, and all kinds of things. Okay? Connections with certain type of people. He started being targeted. He started being harassed, illegally, invaded. Legal technology or technology being used to stalk and harass him. He was being gang stalked. Mobbing started going on. Okay? I also got here somebody put a spell on you, okay? So I believe this officer belongs to a secret society. I believe some things began to be done to try to cause havoc in his life by trying to put some type of spells on him as well. What else, Tiffany? We need to know more, Tiffany. Okay, fine. Okay. How about this? Suicided by the enemy. Suicided by a cop. He was killed. And they're liable to made it look like he committed suicide. Still to this day right now, he has not been found though, okay? Because he has been taken out way somewhere in the woods and he hasn't been found yet. I actually know where he is. We have twin flame nightmare. I told you the person that he was having an affair with, they were like naturally drawn to each other. They had a lot in common. But this twin flame ended up being a nightmare for him, okay? There's a cover up that's going on in this situation, okay? Because of the connections to law enforcement. What do we have here? Law of attraction. Okay? Individuals involved like this cop and other people he connected to, other people that began to kind of stalk and harass him and different things, nothing more, Spirit is saying, than big bad bullies. Okay? I told you this man is connected to secret society. He's probably a Freemason. Okay, he's got, and the secret society has connections to the Illuminati. Okay, but we're talking about some soulless beings here. Okay, this person is absent of any sympathy, empathy, remorse, or anything for what was done to Andy Ponders. And once Andy began to be stalked and harassed, Andy had the attitude like, I will not be bullied. He wasn't scared. He wasn't afraid. He wasn't going to be bullied or punked by anybody or whatever. He understood he made a mistake, but it wasn't a situation like he felt like he needed to back down or to anybody, because he wasn't going to be bullied, okay? But he had no idea he was being hacked, tracked, and they had set up a plan to have him whacked. Hackers, trackers, and whackers. His twin flame was an imposter. Remember, we had Twin Flame Nightmare come out? This Twin Flame was an imposter. Okay? And once again, we got Billy Badass here. Billy Badass bullies. Okay? Started targeting him. This had this man all in his feelings after a while. Okay? Because he started receiving a lot of dark energy. A lot of hate coming towards his way, okay? They essentially had set this man up to be targeted. Once that officer found out about the affair, I'm telling you, they have these programs, they have these connections. People in power literally have access to this stuff. These, especially people in secret societies like Freemasonry, they pay these third-party companies and things to target people. This is things that I'm going through right now. They started targeting this man. Okay, another dark energy card, manipulation, con artist, sneaky. Okay, there was a lot of manipulation that was going on. Con artist was working against him. Okay, we have wolves and snakes and sheep's clothing. Okay, burdens caused by others. So the burdens that he was going through, the burdensome situation that he was going through, that he was enduring, this was caused by others who was setting him up. And this person that was setting them up had the mentality, somebody gonna get hurt trying to hurt me and mine, okay? This person made the ultimate decision the only conclusion to this was to hurt Andy Ponders. Why? Murder was the case. This man didn't go off somewhere and commit suicide. He was murdered. Heal my broken heart from being in love. He was in love with this twin flame. This had been going on for a little while. Okay? So he was very heartbroken to find out that she, the whole situation. Her and her husband were actually still together, still living together, and her husband was a cop. Like, this really hurt him. There's a setup going wrong here. We have lone wolf shooter. Andy Ponders is dead. We have death here. They brought him great bodily harm. And the reason why they caused him this harm, they put him to death because of third-party situations that he was in. He was having an affair. I actually got it twice. Third-party situations. We have the higher-ups pulling the strings of the puppets. Okay, so there's several people involved who connect back to law enforcement or the powers that be or something. Andy Ponders couldn't trust anybody. He couldn't trust nobody. Okay, there were several people who was aware of this setup, aware that he had become a target. Okay, higher powers was involved in this. Okay. There was blocked calls that was going on. Maybe he began to start trying to block calls from people. His lover was forced to block, calls from him or whatever. But the people that worked against him are straight up hypocrites, Spirit is saying. Spirit is saying that this plot thickens. There was definitely a cover up in this situation. Spirit is saying that the rabbit hole goes deep. This left this man with a broken heart. He couldn't believe that he was being set up like this, okay? We have crooked government officials here, whom are devil worshippers.
Andy felt like this was too much to handle. Okay, like when this news came into him, like it really broke his heart. Okay, it really broke his heart. Okay, he was the boyfriend of his married lover. I told you they began to target this man. He was a he became a targeted individual. And they basically hunted him down, set him up, and lured him to his death. Okay, we have dummies with guns here. Conflicts and battles. We have don't think it's a game when it's really not. This man was set up, man. He was completely and utterly betrayed. By whom? Sellouts. When they see, the thing about when they make you a target, your family knows. They let your family know. Your neighbors know. Your co-workers know if you work. Your church, if you go to church. Anybody that you come into contact with, you deal with, okay? So this says the sellouts, the sellouts are all around you. Neighbors, co-workers, family, strangers, lovers, okay? Partners, friends. They all was aware that he was a target. And that's how that's the reason why that messages came out. And I'm like, there's several other people that was aware that this setup was going to go down, okay? We have satanic cults here. These people are sellouts to the satanic powers that be. They are part of these secret societies, these satanic covens and different things. I told you that man received some swift communication and he found out, what was really happening behind the scenes, what was really going on, okay? The enemy was big mad, okay? And made the conscientious decision to like literally knock him off. We have rest in peace here. This man is no longer alive, okay? They were using intimidation tactics against him while they were targeting him. This man had been betrayed. Betrayed by lies and deceptions from family, from church, from school, from friends, from lovers, from workforce, from strangers, and from the world, from the government, who decided to target him and set him up like this, okay? Why? Because of his distant lover, okay? But this was premeditated murder. Okay, this talks about plots, plans, schemes, a setup, premeditated murder on this man's life here. We have cutthroat, the individual who set up this premeditated murder. I have this color and put cutthroat on this card for a reason, because the person who set this up was an air sign person, that Libra. Okay, usually I say Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini because they're all air signs. Okay, but we know that air sign's a Libra according to what came out. Okay, that person is very cutthroat, very ruthless. Okay, and that person was mad as hell and snapped. Okay, Andy Ponders, he was smitten with his new love. This man was a loner, I'm telling you. So when this new love came into his life, like it, he was really moved by it. He probably hadn't been with anybody in a while. It was a little unfortunate that the woman was still married or whatever, but they were still sneaking around, seeing each other. They were having sex. They would either meet up at hotels or she would come to Andy Ponders' house, okay? And that's how, things was going on, okay? But obviously, of course, Andy Ponders had no idea what was really going on, okay? As well as his mistress had no idea that her husband was keeping tracks on her as well, okay? So I told you that the officer, which is the husband of the woman that Andy was having an affair with, he hired a hitman, okay? Now, this hitman, this person is an informant. He's a rat. He's a snitch. He's an informant for the police, okay? This person is a person who we have drug dealers with bad intentions here, okay? So this person has been pinched, has been busted for drug dealing, hustling, something like that. And at some point he cut a deal. He sold out, sold his soul, and ended up becoming an informant for the police, okay? We got hitman here again, okay? So we could have more than one, okay? But these individuals were informants, okay? We got drug dealers with bad intentions here, okay? We have here they're plotting to rob you. Okay, so not only was they going to murder this man, individuals involved with this setup were planning to rob this man for whatever they can take, from money, his home, whatever assets he had. Random acts of violence. Okay. They made it seem like, this just was a random situation that occurred, okay? But the force that was, the trauma that was forced upon him came from others. It says trauma forced upon you. He literally had purposeful trauma that was forced upon him, okay? We have Heartbreak Hotel. I told you, him and his mistress, him and his lover would meet with each other at hotels and different things. Spirit is saying that there's something being hidden. There's a lot being hidden pertaining to this situation, okay? Because, of course, they're not going to put all this in the news, okay? They're not going to put this on blast, okay? But things are being hidden because of the ops that's involved here, okay? Your ops are stalkers, informants, sellouts, individuals who are low down and dirty, con artists, okay? Decepticons, people who are savages, people who are agents. They're ops, okay? We have here, emotions make you cry sometimes. This man was really hurt that, he was bamboozled the way he was, okay? The ultimate decision, the other people who are involved, they went along with this setup, okay? They went along with this betrayal for the love of money. Plain and simple. See, the officer whom wife was cheating on him, he wanted revenge, okay, as did other people, okay? But some individuals who was involved, this betrayal was for nothing more than the love of money, okay? Con artists around him, trickery, okay? This was a blood sacrifice. This man was blood sacrificed, okay? The satanic powers that be know about this, know that this is going on, okay? These individuals involved are satanic sellouts. Okay, he was set up like this or whatever because he was seen as a liar, a cheater, a thief. Liars, cheaters, thieves here. That's how he was seen. And that's the reason why he was targeted. That is no reason. First of all, it's not okay for you to, who the fuck are you to target some damn body? Who gives a damn how you feel about them? That's your own, you entitled to your own opinion. Okay? But what you don't have the right to do is to illegally invade and violate and target a person to strip them of their human rights, their constitutional rights, their civil rights, to plan and plot and set them up to be murdered in cold blood because you feel some type of way. Get the hell up out of here. The easiest thing to do is to live. Who in the hell died and left you in charge of somebody else's life? You didn't create this man's life. You didn't create humanity at all, nor did you create the earth. But it sure seems to amaze me that all these jokers around here who abuse their power and their privilege and their authority to illegally invade and stalk and harass and target people unto their death. You think you literally have the right to do so, and you do not. Like, who the hell are you? What if your ass was hunted down and murdered in cold blood? You wouldn't like that very much. But you sure as hell ain't got no problem with doing that to nobody else, right? The hell up out of here. Neighborhood watch criminals. These neighborhood watch cats, they're not upstanding and righteous. They criminals their damn self who nosy and stay up in other people's business, and they're informants, they're rats, they're snitches, and they stay up in other people's business. They was watching, reporting back things. This is probably how the cop called wind that his wife was cheating in the first place. Neighborhood watch spies who ain't nothing but criminals themselves, sellouts themselves, ops themselves, gang stalkers themselves. There was so much deception around this situation, okay? Spirit is saying that these fools are sick to death for real, okay? I told you, Andy Ponder was a loner, okay? But then guess what? You know, the old ratting informant, con artists as hitmen that were hired. We got gang bang, chain gang, criminal activity here. Okay? He was being stalked. There were stalkers who was watching him, following him, stalking him, harassing him, in on the setup, okay? How do you know the police was involved? I have showed you many different ways how I know the police was involved. But what about this? They only protect and serve themselves and the powers that be. And it's on a blue card. Sounds like the police to you, don't it? Who came up with the plots, plans, and the schemes to take this man's life? Whom are wolves in sheep's clothing, okay? And all over this world, not even just in Arkansas, okay? Because these things are going on a daily basis. You got the Illuminati stealing minds, souls, and bodies every day, okay? There was some important information that came in that was in those messages that Andy had received. He was set up by his karmic ex, okay? This says karmic set up, divine masculine, divine feminine. His karmic ex and other karmics that he was connected to or knew set him up for this to be done to him. Somebody is chained to the devil here. It was several of them chained to the devil because they're sellouts to the satanic powers that be. They're devil worshippers, okay? And Andy felt like this. Never stoop down to your enemy's level, okay? So this man, he was hurt, okay? But he wasn't going to stoop down to the level of the people who were stalking him, harassing him, okay? Who had to begin to target him because they thought that they could place their own karma on his life, their own judgments on his life. This man didn't commit a crime that would have landed him in prison or something like that. No. He was having an affair, but that doesn't give you the right to target him. That doesn't give you the right to sabotage and ruin his life. That doesn't give you the right to kill him. And that's what's wrong with these coward bastards that do that crap. Like, who the hell are you? You can't place your judgments, your own personal judgments on nobody because you don't like them, because you don't like their lifestyle. Like, what the hell? Spirit say, when people show you who they are, believe them. Andy was beginning to see what these people was really about, okay? He had snitches around him that he thought were friends, okay? He probably told a friend or two, a family member or something, that he was seeing this woman. Somebody he trusted and thought that he could tell, yeah, she's still married and everything, but I love this woman. She's my twin flame, blah, 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 blah. These bastards were snitches. Went behind his back, told other people, and they set him up. We have hidden enemies want to see you fall. Okay? There were hidden enemies that wanted to take this man's life. That's the reason why they began to target him, to keep an eye on him, to watch him, to stalk him, to harass him. They wanted to make his life a living hell before they killed him. And they lured him to his death. Look at this. Didn't I tell you he had an ex that was involved? Your ex tried to kill you because they are jealous of you. His ex is jealous of him. Ex-girlfriend, ex-wife, baby mother. This tramp is jealous of him. She's a part of the setup. And to kill him. I'm telling you. We also have siblings set up, divine feminine, divine masculine. He could have a brother or a sibling or something or that was a part of the setup as well, guys, okay? Definitely his karmic baby mother, karmic ex is involved in the setup, but he has a sibling, or there's a sibling of some kind that is a part of this setup too, okay? Spirit is saying that all the people that went along with setting this person up, they're nothing but bitter bombs and bitter bitches, period. Okay? Demonic possession taking over those around you. Yeah, the people involved, they were nothing but demonically possessed. And this man loved this woman so much. Okay? And this is the reason why he ended up being a fool. Taking the bait and going to meet with her again. Despite the odds against him. And everything going on. This man felt like this about her. I would die for you. And he did. He died for his love. He actually loved that woman. It was a complicated situation, but he loved her. That's why when he got that message to meet up with her, whether it be the last time that he could see her or whatever, this man loved her so much that he would die for her. And he ultimately did die for her. Yeah, he's got an ex that's involved. We have stalking, old looking ass exes. An ex that's jealous of him, that's been watching him, stalking him, in on targeting him, in on setting him up, down with the sacrifice of him, maybe so she could get a cut out of the deal or cut out of some assets or some shit, especially if this is the mother of his children. Yeah. And he was left feeling like this. Why you treat me so bad? He was left feeling like this after he found out all of this, because even his lover had lied to him about things and kept things from him, okay? These messages came out, guys, and, you know, I just told y'all what I knew, okay? But everything else I'm matter-of-factly sure about, okay? But I set these 3 messages here aside because I pondered and I wondered and I wanted to be sure. But I'm just going to go ahead and put them out here because there are several other messages that hint to the fact that there was an ex that was involved in the setup, possibly a sibling, other people connected to him that was a part, that was aware of this setup, okay? So we have family disloyalty, jealousy, envy, hate here, betrayal, okay? Some type of family disloyalty. We also have here your family made attempts to harm you. Okay, so there, like I said, there were people who were close to him who knew that he was a target, became a target because of this situation. There was also people who was close to him that when it was ultimately, when the decision, the judgment was ultimately made to sacrifice him, to kill him, they stayed quiet about it. And they went along with the setup, okay? So we have the whole family in on it. I don't want it to be that way. I knew that this was a very unfortunate, jacked up situation. Those 3 messages came out last minute because I'm like, you know, this is an awful situation. This is a jacked up situation, but I was hoping, you know, this was a situation that was just awful, that was evil, but the family wasn't involved, you know, with setting him going, going along with the setup or a part of this in any type of way or whatever. But those messages came out last minute and I'm like, damn, I like literally broke. I'm just so tired of betrayal from people's families because they have sellouts within their families that it's just ridiculous. And that's the reason why I put the disclaimer out there or whatever. I mean, everybody has family to some degree, okay? A lot of individuals make up people's family, okay? So, like I said in the beginning, I would not necessarily say that everybody in a person's family is a part of something, because you would just have to go into an in-depth situation to even find that out. But I do know that people closest to him, whom he communicated with on the regular, okay, who would make up his whole family, were in on it, okay? There was family disloyalty and betrayal of some kind. There were people that was a part of his family that went along with the setup to make attempts to harm him in some type of way, okay, guys? So we have stalker here. This man was being stalked. He was being followed. He was being invaded. He was being harassed. People were in the shadows. People were watching him. We have wickedness in high places, Beast System 666, okay? Because we're dealing with people in power, people in authority, people in leadership, okay? Spirit was kept telling him, stop, no new friends, okay? He had people around him who were haters, who were frenemies, okay? People who had no love for him, people who were backstabbers, okay? There was even some type of obsession involved, maybe even with the supposed friends of his, okay? But they didn't care about him, okay? And Spirit was trying to warn him of that. We have they're stalking, riding past your house. So after he became a target, because of this situation, they would stalk him. They would follow him all the times. They would ride past his house, see where he's at, what he was doing. You know, just intimidating tactics, okay? There was negative energy like everywhere, okay? This negative energy, it talks about anger. It talks about somebody with a temper. It talks about abuse, bullying, darkness, antimatter type of energy, okay? By whom? Satanic sellouts, okay? People that was a part of this blood sacrifice against him. People who are in the cult. People who are in secret societies, okay? We have people spying on you. So like I said, because he was a target, he was being spied on, okay? We had bad vibes all around you, okay? This talks about depression, jealousy, haters, envy, okay? Bad vibes, okay? I told you on the day that this the major event went down against this person, this says invitation for a special occasion. He received another message that he thought came from his lover to meet up, and he took the bait, and he was going to meet up with his lover again, okay? There are people, the snitches, the rats, the informants, actually. These people are prison rats, jail rats, that was recruited on as decoys to lure him away, to ambush him, to attack him, okay? Nothing more than con art or ex-cons, okay? We have the devil in disguise here, okay? This talks about an individual being two-faced, evil, wicked, okay? Demonic even, okay? We have here message. I told you this man received several messages threatening him, taunting him, haunting him, harassing him. Okay? He received messages from the officer husband. He received messages from his lover as well as others probably. They put a hit out on you to have you killed to cover their tracks. They put a hit out on you to have you killed to cover their tracks because they have been targeting him. They have been stalking him and all kinds of things. So they put a hit out on him to cover their tracks. Spirit is saying that these individuals are nothing more than a low down dirty shame. Okay? There was a lot of confusion and illusions pertaining to the situation, the affair that he was having with his secret lover. Okay? But on the day that he went missing, this attack on him was like a lightning strike. It happened sudden. This was like a sudden change that occurred all of a sudden. All this man knows, he thought he received a message from his lover. He was going on about his business, going on about his day. He's going to meet up. He's going to have lunch or whatever with his lover, whatever. Sudden attack. Sudden change. Okay. We have crossed over spirit here. So spirit is letting me know that this individual is deceased, has crossed over and is no longer with us. This person is dead. Okay. And is a part of the afterlife. Okay. We have don't lose yourself, think all is well, and become someone's sacrifice. And that's what he did when he took on the full role and decided to take that leap of faith and move forward towards his lover once more to meet up for lunch. Okay. He lost himself. He was lost in his feelings, his emotions, his love for this woman. Okay. He thought it was okay. He thought all was well on that day. Okay? And he ended up becoming a sacrifice. Because he was being set up. Okay? There was a lot of sneaking and creeping going on. He was doing some sneaking and creeping with the affair that he was having, but he had no idea that others were sneaking and creeping around him, watching him, reporting back to others about him, about this affair and different things. Okay? Spirit is saying that this was a staged event. This was a staged event. This was set up. Okay. He was left out in the cold in the situation. A lot of things was kept from him. Okay. Spirit was telling him to listen to his intuition. Okay. But he was really smitten with this woman. But Spirit wanted him to be careful who he trusts. He couldn't trust anybody around him. Okay? He was sleeping with the enemy or sleeping with the enemy's wife. There was competition that was all around him as well. Okay? Other people involved, they went along with the setup, the sacrifice of this man for money. People were paid off for their involvement in this setup. Okay? This gave this man the blues, okay? He was feeling down. There was a sense of sadness that had fell over him. He felt a sense of loss and misery. He was in pain. He was hurt. He was in heartache because of everything that he was going through. He was a loner. He was by himself. And oftentimes loners get attacked and targeted the most. He fell in love with this woman who was married and just so happened to be married to a cop. He had been set up. He was now a target. And his you know, he was feeling really down. Okay, guys? People around him were greedy, though. Okay? We have greed here. Okay? People that went along with this for money and greed. Pure evil. Okay? We have the devil here. This talks about the devil, demons, death, spirit, wickedness. Okay? Pure evil. People that were a part of this. Okay? There was some fiery anger involved in this. Okay? This, the people, the husband, the police officer, he was mad as hell about the situation. He was outraged. Okay? About this situation. There was a lot of hidden things pertaining. There's a lot of hidden things pertaining to this situation, to this case, and that's the reason why there was a cover up. Okay? There was a lot of tricksters involved in what was going on here. Okay? But people were jealous, envious, and intimidated by him. Okay? I believe at some point in time he was blacked out because I believe this man, the spirit tells me this man was tortured before he was murdered. Okay. So, at some point he, you know, there was this blackout. He may have blacked out for a while. Okay. Spirit says, beware of the snakes trying to come into your life to harm you, fool you. Okay. And this is the banger here, okay? Because this is where I had to ask Spirit, was the mistress, was the woman that he was having an affair with in on the setup, okay? Because this message here says your girlfriend is an informant for the police / feds, okay? Now, we know that she was married to a cop, okay? But was she part of the setup all along? Okay. Ops are being paid to act like they like / love you or are interested in you. So that message, those two messages together really made me wonder. And I asked the questions in my spirit reading. Okay, guys. We have money hungry gold diggers. So my spirit guys did tell me that this woman was using him for money. Other people connected to him also went along with the setup and the sacrifice so they could get his assets, money or property or whatever. There was ultimate betrayal that was done to this man though, okay? There was a lot of disloyalty. There was manipulation, lies, deceptions, backstabbers, gossip, two-faced individuals, just people with bad juju, okay? But a lot of betrayal. There were certain individuals who got an advancement or promotion for their participation in this sacrifice, okay? Demonic possession has taken over several of these individuals, okay, who are devil worshippers, okay, who was a part of this evil, this wickedness, okay? Spirit was telling Andy Ponders to stay away from the psycho, which was his girlfriend's husband, okay? But there was a lot of things that was done in the dark, that was done in the shadows, Spirit is saying, okay? There's a lot about the situation that is being hidden. He definitely couldn't trust anybody, okay? Not even, I don't even feel like maybe family and friends or whatever, especially after he probably realized that he was a target and so much was going on, but it was an inside job, Spirit is saying. Okay? Spirit is saying that these individuals, they effed up a long time ago, okay? Or maybe somebody felt like that Andy had effed up a long time ago, okay? And they took it upon themselves to get some type of revenge on him, or you know, by targeting him, by taking his life and different things like that or whatever. But yeah, Spirit is saying that these individuals are cowards, okay? And it left Andy feeling like this, unfulfilled and unsatisfied, because at the end of the day, he was still a loner. He was by himself, okay? Spirit was trying to warn him to be careful of the people that he was around as well, guys, okay? Spirit is saying that not only was this a staged event, but it was a whole side, like it was a lot of things that was set up about this whole entire situation, okay? And I kind of noticed that too, just from watching the news segment on it. It was just extra, okay? And it's no coincidence. If you go back to the beginning of the video, from the news article, okay? What seemed to amaze me is that they showed you the area that he was supposedly last seen in. And if you notice, they zoomed in on the Red Lobster. They know that something went down at that Red Lobster. That man was taken there. They know exactly what happened to this man, okay? It is a cover-up. They know the area that he was in last. They know exactly what happened to him. But this is how the powers that be, the government, and you know, these secret society members and all these folks, this is how they play games. And they put the truth in plain sight right in your face, okay? And they think you too brainwashed and dumbed down to connect the dots and see what's going on. It's crazy, okay? We have here release the past, okay? So Spirit was trying to warn him to just let the situation go, leave this woman alone, don't bother her no more, because he had totally been set up, okay? In a way that he had no idea what was going on until the last minute, okay? And by the time everything hit the fan and he realized what was going on and got certain messages and different things like that, he was already a target, okay? And he just became completely and utterly heartbroken, okay? But the setup was on to like take him out. And Spirit is saying that these MFs are crazy. These MFs are straight up crazy, guys, okay? Now this reading is really long, so I'm going to go through this spirit reading with you all really quick. A lot of information I have given you, but there's other information here that I didn't share with, like I have the specifics, okay? I'm going to be careful here. So like I said, I live in this state, okay? So I'm giving you all of the information. I'm telling you what happened, why it happened, individuals connected to this and things like that or whatever. I'm not going to break down names and stuff because like I said, I'm already a target. I have my child's life to think about, okay? And I'm already going through enough, okay? Although I'm not going to allow these people to stop me from my destiny, from my life purpose, okay? From my calling or whatever. But I'm going to refrain from naming names and things like that for, you know, obvious reasons, okay? So, my spirit guides tell me that Andy was killed by his lover's husband, okay? My spirit guides tell me that Andy was traveling to see his girlfriend before, I believe, a trip that he was planning to take to see his family for the holidays or something, okay? My spirit guides tell me that Andy's girlfriend is married, okay? My spirit guides do tell me that Andy was killed in Little Rock, Arkansas, okay? My spirit guides tell me that Andy Ponder, he often would meet with his girlfriend at hotels as well as his house, okay? My spirit guides tell me that Andy was attacked, okay? He was ambushed, he was abducted while out shopping, okay? On Christmas Eve, okay? So he was out and about on Christmas Eve, okay? He was attacked. He was ambushed. He was abducted specifically from the Red Lobster. Okay, because like I said, he received this message to meet with his lover at that Red Lobster, and that is where he was attacked. He was ambushed. Okay. My spirit guides tell me that Andy knew his girlfriend was married, but he did not know that they were still in a committed marriage, nor did he know that his girlfriend's husband was a police officer. Okay, my spirit guides tell me that Andy Ponder's body is near his girlfriend's house. Okay, specifically, my spirit guides tell me that the Andy Ponder's body was disposed of in a ditch in the woods. Okay. My spirit guides tell me that the police officer and the hitman murdered Andy Ponders together. Okay? My spirit guides tell me that Andy's girlfriend is younger than him. She's like in her 30s. My spirit guides tell me. Okay? My spirit guides do tell me that Andy Ponder's girlfriend was using him for money. My spirit guides also tell me that the girlfriend does not know that Andy Ponders is dead, but she is aware that he is missing. Okay. Also, my spirit guide, I got some conflicting information, but Andy's girlfriend, my spirit guides tell me that Andy's girlfriend, she's of a mixed race, like a mixed descent. Like, it doesn't have to be black and white. It could be. But she's of mixed race in some kind of way. But the husband, the police officer husband is Caucasian, is white, okay? My spirit guides tell me that Andy Ponder's girlfriend lives in West Little Rock, okay? My spirit guides tell me that on the day that Andy went missing, he received a message, okay? He actually had received several messages, or a message from the husband of his girlfriend, okay? But he received some messages on the day that he ultimately went missing as well, okay? My spirit guides tell me that the girlfriend and her husband, I think her husband forced her to confront him, to go to him at some point in time. Like, this was before what happened on the day that he went missing, okay? My spirit guides was telling me that the girlfriend and the husband showed up at Andy's house, particularly before the situation happened, or, you know, like ran up on him in some type of way. But the husband forced the girlfriend to go along with this, like after he realized that this affair was going on, okay? But this was before. Y'all need to understand that there was a lot of things that took place before Christmas Eve, which was the day that Andy Ponders went missing, okay? Because like I told you, he was targeted for a while leading up to his disappearance, okay? My spirit guides tell me that Andy was abducted, and he was abducted and he was taken, okay, from the area in which the area is in Little Rock, it's in Little Rock. It's on West Markham, where this Red Lobster is. That he was supposedly going to be meeting up. I believe that, so things took place. He was abducted and he was taken in his own vehicle away from there, okay? My spirit guides tell me that ultimately what killed Andy is that he was shot to death. My spirit guides tell me that Andy was tortured before he was murdered, though, okay? He was tortured, he was restricted, which means he was bound, or gagged, or tied up, or handcuffed in some type of way to keep him from fighting back or getting away or anything like that. But he was tortured. He was restricted and he was tortured for a while, or before he was murdered, okay? My spirit guides tell me that the husband of Andy's girlfriend is a police officer, okay? I believe specifically a Little Rock police officer. My spirit guides do tell me that Andy's car was disposed of, or or hidden or displaced in some type of a way. Okay. But like I told you, on the day that he was ambushed, he was essentially, he was ambushed, he was attacked, but he was essentially carjacked as well. Okay. When they grabbed him, they threw him in his own vehicle, restricted him in his own vehicle, and drove off in his vehicle with him from that location on West Markham at that Red Lobster. Okay. And then he was taken elsewhere. Okay. But this setup gets so real, y'all, because you're not going to believe what else went on. Okay. Okay. So my spirit guides tell me that the police officer husband, he hired hitmen to help him. Okay. With the setup against Andy Ponders. Okay. Okay, these hitmen were drug dealers and police informants that were recruited, that were hired to do this to go along with this hit, to do this. Okay. And they were probably, not only were they paid, but they were probably offered some type of deal to take some type of charge off the record, or to drop some type of charges or something. Okay. They're straight up sellouts. Okay. They're snitches. They're rats. They're low down dirty gutter rats. Okay. And they're informants. Okay. My spirit guides tell me that Andy was he was approached at the Red Lobster, okay, on West Markham, like I told you, when he went missing. And after that is when he went missing, okay? He was taken from there, okay? My spirit guides tell me that the ex-wife or the baby mother is in on the setup, okay? If the children could be, his children could be aware of this setup, aware of the plots against him as well. Okay, so I'm just gonna say that and leave that like that. Okay. My spirit guides tell me that the police officer husband, he did attack his wife. My spirit guides tell me that he attacked his wife, also, when he found out about the affair. Okay. My spirit guides tell me that this police officer husband, he beats his wife. Okay. Which she's obviously in an unhappy marriage with this cop, which is what causes her to cheat in the first place. Okay. But my spirit guides tell me specifically that the police officer beat his wife when he found out she was cheating. Okay. My spirit guides tell me that Andy and his girlfriend were indeed having sex. So this was not just an emotional affair. They had met up several times before and had sex with one another. Okay. My spirit guides tell me that Andy got a message he thought was from his girlfriend to meet at the Red Lobster on West Markham in Little Rock. Okay. My spirit guides tell me that the hitman actually catfished and lured Andy Ponder to the Red Lobster. Okay. There was some type of, I believe there was some type of app that like intersected the police officer's wife's like texts and calls and different things. There was something that was used where these people were able to message Andy, and it looked like or seemed like it was coming from his girlfriend, his lover. Okay. Or either the police officer took his wife's phone and, supplied this phone to send the messages from. Okay. So he would think that these messages were coming from the girlfriend. Okay. My spirit guides tell me that the police officer husband, y'all, he was at the Red Lobster on the day that Andy arrived there to meet with his wife. Okay. But he was hidden. He was in disguise. And he was off at a distance. Okay. That police officer he sat there and watched. Okay. Okay. So I need you to understand. The police officer was there, disguised. He may have been in an unmarked vehicle and everything. He's sitting in the parking lot. Now, the hitman that had been recruited were there also. sitting and wait for Andy Ponders to show up. When their mark showed up, they were given the trigger, they was given the the green light to go along with attacking this man, abducting this man from there. That cop sat back and watched it all go down. He was on that parking lot the day that it happened. Okay? My spirit guides tell me that the police officer was there to watch the hitman attack Andy, and as well as when he arrived. He literally sat there and watched it all unfold and go down. Okay? So like I said, Andy was attacked. He was restricted. He was bound. He was thrown in his own vehicle, and the hitman hopped in his car, drove off from there, and left in Andy's car with him. Okay. Then my spirit guides tell me, like I said, the hitman carjacked Andy, and they drove off in his vehicle with him. My spirit guides tell me that the police officer, he later met, like he had already communicated with them where to take him. Okay. My spirit guides tell me that the police officer later met up with the hitman and Andy when they left and got to the specific location that they were supposed to take him. Okay. My spirit guides tell me that Andy was taken out somewhere off of Cantrell. That's a road. It's called Cantrell. Okay, and Cantrell is really long. Cantrell is so long. It literally runs from like our downtown area all the way across town, like from our downtown area through West Little Rock all the way out to Countryside, almost. Okay, but my spirit guides specifically tell me that Andy Ponder was taken out. He was taken to an area off of Cantrell, okay, and killed. He was specifically taken because remember I told you he was out in the woods somewhere. He was taken to Pinnacle Mountain. You get to Pinnacle, you have to drive all the way down Cantrell. If you live here, you know where Pinnacle Mountain is. You know how to get there, okay? You have to drive all the way out, almost outside the county line, down Cantrell in order to take that dip off towards Pinnacle Mountain. And there's like signs once you get close to it to let you know where the national park is and all of that or whatever. He was taken out to Pinnacle Mountain. That's where he was attacked. That's where he was killed. Okay, so his body is still out there, which is why he hasn't been recovered, why he hasn't been found. It's cold right now. We're experiencing a lot of bad weather. Like I said, it started snowing today. You know, we've had some freezing rain and sleet and things like that. And things kind of get crazy in Arkansas when the weather get bad because, y'all, we don't have bad weather like this, okay? Like, we usually... Like, snow happens once in a great blue moon. Like, people get nervous out here when when it rains too hard and there's a little ice and a little sleet on the ground, okay? Like, literally, schools, all kinds of businesses and close down if it's just a little bit of rain and some hail and some sleet on the ground, okay? Still drivable, but, like, literally. Because we don't get bad weather like that, okay? So this literally makes the second year in a row that snow has come. You know, hopefully it's not as bad. Don't get as bad as it was last year, but I'm going to have to do another reading because Spirit was sending me some messages that there is going to be some bad and dangerous weather coming like it was last year. Y'all know how awful it got in Texas and things or whatever. Spirit is saying that they're going to do it again this year, okay? Because, you know, with this Omicron and you know, COVID and all this other stuff going on, you know, they're saying things are getting bad, people are getting sicker and things like that or whatever. But anyway, guys, back to the situation. I said all that to say, because it's really, really cold out, There's not a lot of people who's like, maybe out and about going to like a lot of nature areas. Like this is not called a natural state for no reasons. Like the funnest thing to do in Arkansas, like if you are a naturalist, if you like nature, you're a spiritual, which is usually people who are spiritualists, healer type, light worker type, but different people like nature. Okay, that's like the most exciting, funnest sightseeing things to do in Arkansas. So a lot of things that we have to do in Arkansas is out in nature, different beautiful sights and things in nature. But when the weather gets bad, especially like bad weather that we're not used to, a lot of people tend to stay in and don't get out unless necessary. So I said all that to say that could be reason why this man has not been found yet. You understand? So as of yet, it has not been reported on our news that he has been found or located or anything. Pinnacle Mountain is huge, okay? There's a lot of different areas all around Pinnacle Mountain, okay? You can actually climb the mountain. There's this easy walking trail type of side, and then there's the side where you can actually hike up the mountain, and if you're into rock climbing and things like that, and climb the mountain like that. And then there's like nature trails and isolated other little parks all around. Like Pinnacle Mountain is huge, okay? But once you go up in Pinnacle Mountain, it is so hidden and it's wooded all around, okay? It's wooded all around. It's so hidden. So, he's out there. It's no wonder he hasn't been found yet. Okay, guys. This reading has been really long, guys. There was a lot of information, like I told you, that went along with this, and I wanted to make sure that I specified and I clarified as much as possible for you all. So I do hope that this information has provided somebody with the confirmation, the information that they needed as to what happened to Mr. Andy Ponders. I think it's very unfortunate that this man's life was snuffed out like this. It's very unfortunate, okay? So to the people who actually did love him, care about him, is worried about him, my condolences goes out to you all, okay? For those persons, nothing that I said, I did so with any malicious intent, okay? I do send my condolences. I put this message out for you all, to have clarification, to know exactly what happened to him. And for those of you who really love him and care about him, what's understood don't need to be discussed. You know what I'm saying? There's no need for definite clarification. You know who you are. You know if you love this man. You know if you cared about this man. You know if you're worrying about this man. You understand what I'm saying? So if you are those persons, then I understand that you would appreciate getting any type of information that would help you to better understand as to what happened, what unfolded, what took place, and different things like that, instead of just knowing a person was here one day and the next day they just disappeared and never been seen or heard from again. Because this type of thing happens all over the world. People just seemingly up and vanish, and a lot of times people don't get answers. They don't get a clue. They don't get a hint. They don't get a lead. They don't get a suspect. They don't get a what, when, where, how, why, or nothing. Okay, so I do this in an effort to help those who need answers, who want clarity, who want confirmation, and can find some type of peace. And even though it's situations that can be heartbreaking, that can be upsetting, just like when a person passed away, you're very bothered by it when it happened. It moves your emotions and your feelings in a way that, alters your state of mind. But then once it's done and this person is laid to rest, you have to find that inner self to be able to find peace, to be able to heal, to deal with how to move forward and things like that as well. So guys, I hope this helped you. For those individuals who betrayed this man, you know who you are as well, okay? You're absolute utter disgust, okay? And There's a higher power that is going to wreak havoc on those persons' lives who betrayed this man in this way. Okay, nobody in this world is perfect. A lot of people make mistakes in life. Okay, but that does not give you the right to call your own judgments upon anybody. Create your own karmas, create your own judgments and your own ridicules, okay? To persecute somebody, to execute somebody, okay? To stalk, harass, target, illegally invade, and violate the human rights, the privacy, the personal space, the constitutional rights, the civil rights of a person, okay? That's not okay. It's okay for you to be upset. It's okay for you to be hurt by a situation. It's okay for you to even have your own opinion about a situation. What is not okay is when you decide to hate somebody so much, envy somebody so much, want revenge upon somebody so much that you are willing to take their life, that you are willing to stoop down to any level to sabotage and to ruin them in any way. It is not okay. Okay, and at the end of the day, you would not want anybody to do you like that, and that is why it's not okay. I don't care who you are, what your ranking is, what sex you claim, what secret society you in, or any of that. I don't have nothing to do with that. Okay, that's your own personal, private business. I don't care nothing about that. Okay, period, point blank. You do not have the right. You don't say who lives and who dies. Okay, period. Okay, and those of you who have betrayed this man, who have worked against this man, who set this man up, who took this man out this world, possibly before his time, you know who you are, and you're wrong. And while you're thinking you smooth got away with murder and a heinous crime, while you're thinking you got away with domestic terrorism, okay, while you're thinking you got away with cruel and unusual punishment, your day is coming. You ain't immortal, okay? Thus, you're not going to live forever, okay? And you will soon face real karma, real judgment for what you have done to snuff out another man's life. I thank you all for listening and for watching. If you will, please like, share, and subscribe. If there is anybody who would like to contact me, you can do so at tiffanyziegler60@gmail.com or at tiff.diamond.36@gmail.com. If you would like to text me, you can do so at 501-478-8035. If there is anybody who would like to donate to the channel, if it has been placed upon your heart to do so, I greatly appreciate you. I thank you in advance. You can do so through Cash App at $tiffdiamond36. Also, if you don't have Cash App, you can also donate through PayPal, which is paypal.me/@tiff36diamond. Sorry. As I always tell you all, y'all take care of yourselves, take care of each other, but most of all, take care of your babies, guys. There is wickedness in high places and evil that is lurking around every corner, honey. No matter what neighborhood you live in, there is sinister people in a neighborhood near you. Okay, you never know who might betray you. You never know who is out to stab you in the back. Okay. So keep some protection on you. Watch your surroundings. Watch the company you keep. Watch the surroundings and the company in which your children are in, okay? Y'all stay awake, stay aware, stay vigilant, and stay prepared. Because if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready, baby. Until the next time, peace, love, and light. Namaste. I am that I am, created in the image of God.